In August, China's train and subway stations saw a strange phenomenon. Normally empty spaces were filled with people sleeping. Passengers, please do not linger at the station for too long. Take your belongings and exit promptly. This was a scene in early August as Shanghai endured scorching temperatures over 40 degrees. With temperatures so high, the subway and train stations were packed with poor individuals who couldn't afford air conditioning. Additionally, many unemployed people were sleeping on the streets, including women. Oh my god, it's so hot now. If someone still has to come out and work in this weather, it must mean they can't even afford to eat porridge at home. It turns out so many people in the Shanghai boom can't afford hotel rooms and have to sleep on these wooden benches. There are plenty of young women, along with people of all ages. On August 4th, weather analyst Xingxing from the China Meteorological Channel posted on her Weibo account that Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai dominated the top 10 hottest locations in China at 10 a.m. that day, with Shanghai's Baoshan district leading at 38 degrees. Considering the high humidity, the perceived temperature in Baoshan was around 43 degrees. On August 3rd, the official Weibo account for the weather forecast on China's Central Television reported that high temperatures were sweeping across most of southern China, especially in Jiangsu, Shanghai, and Zhejiang, and the heat wave would persist for several days. In Hangzhou, the highest temperature on record had been broken, with ground temperatures exceeding 60 degrees at one point, that is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Since late July, most parts of Shanghai had already been experiencing high temperatures above 37 degrees. On August 2nd, a red heat alert was issued again as the temperature reached 40 degrees. On the same day, a person posted that several performers in costumes at Shanghai Disneyland's parade appeared to have suffered heat stroke and collapsed. Another person mentioned that on July 30th, the Disney character Cookie Ann fainted during a midday performance, with a large crowd witnessing the incident. Photos of other Disney staff collapsing from heat stroke have also been circulating on Chinese social media. In response, many people suggested that Disney should adjust or cancel summer parades during extreme weather conditions. After the incident, Shanghai Disneyland stated that they would adjust their operations based on high temperature alerts and on-site temperature monitoring. For example, on August 2nd, the Mickey Fantasy Parade was adjusted to a high-temperature version, reducing the number of parade floats to 2, with Disney friends and dancers interacting with guests from the floats only. On the afternoon of August 2nd, Hangzhou's temperature reached 41.9 degrees, breaking its highest temperature record. Some small shops even posted closure notices, citing the inability to continue operations in such extreme heat. Pedestrians struggled in the heat, and scenes of people fainting from heat stroke on the streets became more common. In one video, a woman wearing a white shirt and jeans was lying motionless on the ground, surrounded by a crowd. The woman filming said,
"Someone fainted here. The police have been called and an ambulance is on the way. I don't know why she collapsed. She was already on the ground when I arrived. She had been convulsing, so we didn't dare to move her. If there are any medical personnel around, please help. Life is so fragile. Maybe that moment of collapse was her crossing into the next life."
In another video from Putuo, Shanghai, a woman fainted from heat stroke by the roadside. Firefighters held an umbrella over her and tried to wake her while cooling her down with ice packs and cold water. There was also a man who collapsed from heat stroke near the entrance of a market in Shanghai. In the afternoon of August 2nd, Shanghai's official trade union posted on Weibo, warning of the dangers of continuous high temperatures. Firefighters conducted an experiment showing that after being exposed to the sun, the temperature inside a car could reach 69 degrees. In their experiment, 2 lighters were placed under a windshield. One of them exploded from expansion after just 12 minutes. The post reminded people not to leave lighters, power banks, aerosol cans, perfumes, or other items that could explode due to heat in their cars to prevent fires. The extreme heat even melted shoes. In one clip, a woman said,
"I remember the temperature was around 36 to 37 degrees that day. I was walking a short distance from my office to the street corner when my shoes started to feel strange. I looked down and saw they were stuck to the ground. The green light was about to change and I didn't know what to do. If I walked, my shoes might completely fall apart in the middle of the road. It was so embarrassing."
Not only did the heat melt shoes, but it also damaged roads. On July 7th, a video circulated online showing severe road deformation near Shanghai's Inner Ring Expressway. Dashcam footage showed vehicles bumping up as they passed a warped section, causing traffic to slow. A driver in the video remarked, "The road is bulging." After overnight repairs, the road was smoothed out by the early hours of August 8th. The Shanghai Highway Company explained that the continuous high temperatures had caused 4 sections of the Shanghai Expressway to buckle. However, some people speculated that the deformation wasn't just due to the heat, but also poor construction quality. They questioned how the road could deform at just 40 degrees when asphalt typically softens at temperatures between 130 and 160 degrees Celsius. They called for a thorough investigation. In another heat-related incident, on August 4th, the temperature at Shanghai Sujiahui Station reached 40.4 degrees Celsius. That same day, a bus crashed into a river after the driver suffered a heat-related illness. Video footage showed the bus submerged in water with only the rear of the vehicle still visible. The video filmed by onlookers shows the bus submerged in water with only the rear of the vehicle still visible. After the incident, the Shanghai Public Security Bureau released a statement saying that the bus driver, aged 51, suffered a sudden illness while driving, causing the vehicle to veer into the river. Unfortunately, he passed away despite rescue efforts at the hospital. Fortunately, neither the passengers nor the conductor on board was injured. An insider mentioned that the bus was operated by a subsidiary of Shanghai Chongming Bus Public Transport. The bus had traveled less than a kilometer from the station when the driver likely fainted due to the extreme heat, leading to the loss of control. In such extreme weather, outdoor workers, like delivery drivers, are the most affected. One delivery worker expressed frustration, saying that despite the high temperatures, their wages had not increased. In fact, they had decreased. He said, "It's terrifying. Meituan Delivery has lowered the base delivery fee to 4 yuan per order. In a big city like Shanghai, do you know what 4 yuan means? You can't even buy 2 buns for that price. It's ridiculous that you can't even earn enough for 2 buns per order." Another delivery worker shared his concerns. "We can't take it anymore. Shanghai has entered the 4 yuan era, and we're under constant heat alerts. Delivering food in this heat is so awkward. Not only do we not get high temperature subsidies, but there are also no summer promotional activities, and the order prices are dropping. What are the guys who can't keep up supposed to do? We can't keep up with the competition anymore, and with temperatures nearing 40 degrees in a few days, it's too late to change jobs." The economy of Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai stands in stark contrast to the scorching weather. It's frozen.
Look at Shanghai's Qipu Road at night. This place used to be bustling with street vendors, and I used to do business here. But now look at it. This side and this side. This is old Qipu Road. This is Baima, and this is Chaofei Street. On this whole street, I only saw one person shopping. And as I walked out, I didn't see anyone else. Now look at the Tianjin River area. It's still empty after walking around.
The lack of spending isn't just collapsing the real economy, it's also causing major shopping malls to suffer losses to the point where they can't afford to run air conditioning. You really shouldn't come to Shanghai Global Harbor. I spent 2,800 yuan on a meal and didn't even get reward points. Parking here for just 3 hours costs over 50 yuan. Global Harbor is so terrible. The air conditioning is unbearable. I don't understand why parking is so expensive here in Putuo, Shanghai, even after spending 2,800 yuan. The mall is so hot, like there's no AC at all. Global Harbor in Shanghai is really a place that everyone in the world complains about. Even the previously booming elderly care industry is on the brink of collapse due to the heat. I never thought that now Shanghai's nursing homes are on the verge of collapse. What's going on? Let me explain. The collapse I'm talking about isn't due to poor management. I'm talking about a situation where Shanghai's nursing homes can't find enough caregivers to take care of the elderly. As a native Shanghainese, I know what the situation used to be like, so the current situation is very strange. From June to July until now, more than 80% of nursing homes in Shanghai have a severe shortage of caregivers. Some nursing homes are short by 3 or 4 caregivers, which is normal, while others are short by 8 or 9. This leads to one caregiver taking care of a dozen elderly people, doing the work of 2 or 3 people. Some nursing home leaders and supervisors have even had to step into care for the elderly themselves. Many may not believe this, but I'm telling you it's true. With Shanghai's aging population, nearly 40% of the 13 million people are over 60 years old, around 5 million people. With such a large service demand, you'd expect the service to keep up. From 2021 to now, at least 100 to 200 new nursing homes have opened, so the competition is very fierce. In these understaffed nursing homes, the wages must be very low, so no one wants to work there. But even with high wages, caregivers keep quitting, and with this summer's extreme heat, no one wants to do the job. The result is a massive shortage of nursing home staff. Some jobs have no takers, while others do not need workers, causing the employment rate in major cities to plummet. A man in a video complained about how difficult it is to find work in Shanghai and how, despite being a native, he faced discrimination. Friends, I've been discriminated against. I applied for a job today, and they asked how long I've been in Shanghai. I said I was a native Shanghainese. Then they told me, sorry, you're not suitable for this position. Oh my God, for the first time I felt discriminated against, not because of my age, but because of where I'm from. Can you believe it? I'm from Shanghai, and I was discriminated against when looking for a job. According to the Talent Migration Report 2023, the total number of job positions in 2022 decreased by 22% compared to the previous year, with the internet industry seeing a 50% decline in pure internet job positions. Most of these private and internet companies are based in first-tier cities, so for college graduates, graduation equals unemployment has become the norm. Their employment prospects have become zero. In recent years, many jobs created in China have been low-end blue-collar positions. According to the latest data from job site Zhaopin's June survey, demand for blue-collar workers like delivery drivers, truck drivers, waiters, and technicians surged by 3.8 times in the first quarter of this year compared to 2019. Young people looking for work have had to downgrade their job expectations just to survive. Besides employment, the chill extends to salaries across the country. In a report by the Chinese media Economic Observer in January, several employees from different sectors and levels of state-owned enterprises stated that their salaries and year-end bonuses have been reduced in the fourth quarter of 2023, particularly in management and administrative positions. One interviewee even mentioned a nearly 30% pay cut for the whole year of 2023. The Economic Observer reported on May 11 that investment bankers said they had their salary as CITIC Securities cut by 20%, China International Capital Corporation by 25%, and CSC Financial, who imposed a second reduction after an initial 20% cut earlier in the year. Both the construction and financial industries experienced another wave of salary reductions, ranging from 10% to 50%. Some people even reported personal salary cuts as high as 70%. Speaking of the financial sector, Chinese Business News reported that in 2023, the management at the Bank of China faced an average pay cut of 13%, with some executives seeing reductions as high as 40%. The public sector has also faced salary cuts. Since 2021, provinces across China, including affluent regions like Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Guangdong, Fujian, and Shanghai, have reported salary reductions for civil servants. The military and police forces have also been affected. Mr. Hua, a former soldier, revealed in January that many of his comrades in the military had lost several subsidies that hadn't been paid for 6 months. Ms. Bai, a retired soldier, noted that a deputy police chief in a coastal city told her that he, along with everyone in the police station, had experienced pay cuts. On April 20th of this year, retired teacher Ms. Yan told the media that police officers in Tianjin, Nanjing, and Dalian had seen a 20% salary reduction. This cooling of salaries within the government is expanding and continuing. In this era of nationwide pay cuts, it's safe to say that wage increase prospects are frozen across the board. Whether it's soaring prices, job difficulties, or widespread salary cuts, the root cause of the economic hardships faced by Chinese people is, of course, the authoritarian rule of the CCP. Taiwanese economist Wu Jialong argues that the economy is the CCP's chronic problem. It cannot manage the economy as open political systems in the West do, nor can it stabilize its political foundation in a market economy. The CCP has failed to resolve two fundamental issues. First, it hasn't returned political power to the people to restore normalcy. Second, the party is always engaged in rent-seeking, exchanging power for profit, akin to a mafia boss collecting protection fees. Instead of growing the economic pie, the CCP is constantly trying to carve it up, which is the root cause of China's dire economic situation.